Please remember to wash your hands before handling or preparing food.
So, like I said, we're going to go through and make a salad today. I'm going to give you an example of a good salad recipe that has a lot of different color in it, which provides a lot of different micronutrients, phytochemicals. Now, you don't have to make this exact salad. This is the salad recipe we use when we go into the schools, and when your teacher teaches this in person, this is the same recipe that we would use. Now, you don't, like I said, you don't necessarily have to have this stuff. But what we're going to use today is we have spinach, as we talked about, lots of iron in spinach. And this actually has some kale in it too, which is really healthy as well. I have some red peppers. I'm going to use a lemon. I'm actually going to use the lemon for our dressing. I have an apple. And then I have some baby carrots here that I'm actually going to chop up. Right. I also have some dried fruit, as we talked about, great sources of potassium. So I have some dried cranberries here, and I have some dried golden raisins. Now, just regular raisins would work, or any other kind of dried fruit would be great. Once again, these are just great ideas. We're also going to add some seeds to this. Seeds we didn't really talk about much, but seeds have a lot of healthy fat in them. You know, not all fat's bad. Some fat is very important to our health. It has some healthy fat. It also is high in potassium and iron as well. And we're also going to use to make a really healthy natural dressing, we're going to use some olive oil and some honey. Now, besides those are our raw materials, we're going to use a big plastic bag to mix our salad in. And we need a small dish that we're going to make our dressing in. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and chop these things up. Now, please have an adult chop this for you, or at least supervise you doing it, because chopping can be dangerous if we're not careful. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up the apple, and the red peppers and the carrots, and then I'm going to get right back. Okay, now that all of our ingredients are ready, we're ready to start mixing them together. Right, so like I said, we're going to use a 1 gallon plastic bag for this, but you could obviously do this in a bowl if you wanted to. So the first thing you want to add is the spinach. So you're going to add the spinach to the bag first. And I think the plastic bag is just kind of a great way to get this mix, especially once we get this dressing in, because we're going to want to get the dressing to cover all of it. So let's get all of our spinach in the bag. And hopefully you notice the rainbow of colors that we have going on here. So we have the green spinach, we're going to have orange, we have red, we have the apple, and we have some other colors. Right now it doesn't really matter what order. We're gonna add all of these things in, right? So I'm gonna add in my carrots, my vitamin A, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my red peppers. Go ahead and put those in the bag as well. All right, and then I'm gonna put my apples in. So I have my apples, my red peppers, and my carrots. Now we kind of can add this kind of depending on how much we like each of these items. Notice my piles were pretty close to the same, so I have about equal amounts of those things. All right, so now that's our fruits and vegetables. Well, most of our fruits and vegetables. We also have our dried fruits. So we have our cranberries and we have our golden raisins. Remember, great sources of potassium. So I'm going to go ahead and just add those in. And then, of course, we have the sunflower seeds left. So we're going to add the sunflower seeds into that same bag. All right, once all of those ingredients are in the bag, let's go ahead and get this mixed up. So you want to seal the bag up, right? We'll just really give it a good mix. Shake it around, move it around. We want to get all those ingredients mixed in there with the spinach. So go ahead and get that mixed really well. And we're gonna do some more mixing here in a second once we make our dressing. Now, this dressing is very simple, but it's also very good. All right, so we're gonna use honey, olive oil, and lemon. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna add is the olive oil. It's about 2 tablespoons. I don't have a measuring cup on me right now, but if you do, I would recommend using that. So I would say for this portion, I would use about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm gonna call that 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Right, and it does depend on how much salad you have. You can always add more if you want. Now, for 1 tablespoon of this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of honey. So so about half the amount of honey compared to olive oil is what we're going for on this dressing. So, honey's a good sweetener, but it is also very high in sugar, and it does count as sugar. So we don't want to have too much of it, but it's a pretty healthy alternative. All right, so we're going to add about a tablespoon of honey. All right, and then we're going to squeeze 1 lemon into there. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. You might have a lemon squeezer. I'm just going to use my hands to squeeze the juice out of 2 lemons. All right, you might need to have someone help, but really give it a good squeeze. And I'm sorry, not 2 lemons. We're just using 1 lemon, but we're using 1 of each half. I'm going to squeeze that in. All right, once we get that done, we're going to want to mix it up. So we need to grab ourselves a spoon or something to mix with. We're going to give it a good mix. We want to get that olive oil and honey and lemon juice all mixed together. Doesn't take very long. Once you do, we're going to add this to the bag. So now we are ready to add our dressing to the bag. So I'm going to open my bag up, and I'm just going to dump the dressing right in there. And once again, I'm going to seal the bag up, and I'm going to mix it really well. I want to get all of that dressing kind of coated around all the materials in the bag. So I'm going to get it going now. All right, once our salad is mixed up, it is ready to eat. So you can either serve it for yourself and save some for later, or serve it to a couple people. But notice as we go ahead and get ourselves served up here, how much color is in this salad. And we have a great dressing on it now. Notice all the colors that we have. As we have mixed this rainbow of color into this salad, which tells us there is a lot of micronutrients and phytochemicals here. Let's take a look. So the final step is the best step. We're going to enjoy our salad.